Hello guys and welcome to another car exposed video. Today we have a 2010 Vauxhall Meriva. I believe it has about 78,000 on the clock, so there you go, 78,000. Complaint is engine light is on, cooling fan is constantly on and is overheating apparently. It's pretty cold here in UK now, so it's kind of unusual if you have cooling system working, at least mechanically working, they will start opening, water pump working, you're not going to overheat very easily. So I'll just demonstrate to you what's happening. So let's turn the ignition on. Let's turn this fan off here. I think I can hear the cooling fan going now. Apparently they removed, my friend bought this car in the auction, by the way, with all this issue. As you can see there, the engine light is on. They removed the radio apparently. I can't see any screen there. I don't know if there's anything to do with that, but let me show you the engine compartment. So as you can see there, and the engine is dead cold. I just start the engine. I'm going to start just scanning the car. I actually scanned the other day just to put some code, so I have it here in the memory. Diagnosis. We did have some codes for the cooling system. Also I don't know what that is. Code 4 keeps giving codes there as well, which I'm not sure what's going on. The gauge, the temperature gauge is down to 0 basically, 50 degrees there, the minimum it shows up. Control units, engine control units, and let's see what we got today. Right, so we have two present faults, the same faults that we had the other day. So engine coolant temperature sensor circuit high, engine coolant temperature sensor 1 circuits intermittent. So P0118, P0119. Let's go back. Just gonna look at just some live data to see what the temperature, the actual temperature is. Right, so we have -40 for the sensor. And this car has two sensors apparently. There's one by the radiator as well, which is 7 degrees, which is probably about right. That's what the temperature here in UK is at the moment. Intake air temperature 19 degrees. I guess that's kind of about right, maybe a little bit less. Maybe that will go down when I obviously turn the engine on. But -40 to me, it's like the sensor is not working or disconnected, so I'm gonna check that now. That'll be the next thing to do. All right, so surprise, surprise, look what I found here. Disconnected. The sensor is just there on the side, just above or in front of the oil filter housing, as you can see there. So we're gonna plug that in and see what we get. I don't know why it's disconnected. To start with, it's gonna be a hard job, this one, because we're gonna have to do a lot of guessing. You know, it was bought in the auction, there's no history. The only thing we know is the fan is running at all times and it's overheating. So our sensor is plugged in. Let's see the live data again. Right, so we have some temperatures here now, but 131 degrees, which is definitely not right. I basically turned the engine on for like 3 minutes or something like that. We definitely don't have that. So I'm gonna do a test on my DK box next. Right, so a very easy test with the GK box. We can kind of simulate the sensor. So I'm back probing the plug, as you can see there. 2 wires, and I have no resistance at the moment. 140 degrees, just like the sensor when it's plugged in. Now we're gonna give 1000 here, 1000 ohms, and it's generally between 45 and 50. That's what I normally look into, and you can see it changed to 44. It's not like 100% baseline, but I'll put 2K there, and that should drop. 29, 3K, 21 degree, 4K, 16. So you can see the circuit, that's a proof that the circuit is working perfectly. Put back down to 1000, 45, 44 degrees. So we know the circuit is working. So I'm gonna see if I'm gonna phone my friend and see if he could get sensor to start with, because working in the engine without knowing the temperature, I don't want to overheat anything. And just to quickly show you, so we've got 44 there on 1000 ohms. Remove the GK box, so unplug it. So unplug the one, it goes to -40, it goes to default mode. Right, so I phoned my friend to get a new temperature sensor, and he told me a few things now. I didn't check the car, but here we have a thermostat. I don't know why it's out. And we also have a temperature sensor in the car. And another thing that he told me, we also have, that I didn't see, we have some kind of wires in there that's being, I don't know what was done, but obviously they got some wires spliced up, some new connections going to the battery, going inside the cabin. But I'm gonna change this sensor here and then see if it's working or not. That one is definitely not working. I don't know why it was replaced. Sensor is in, put the clip back. Just gonna plug it in and see our live data. Alright, so with the new sensor, this is the old one that was in the car. It looks old as well, it doesn't look new. Surprise, surprise, 19 degrees. Let's start this engine now. I wanna at least be able to bring up to temperature. See what goes on. So now we're sucking some air in the intake, that's going down. I want to see if the thermostat open as well, and the radiator coolant temperature goes up, obviously 8 degrees. So I'm gonna wait until the car warms up. Another interesting thing here, we've got the cooling fan relay on already and the relay 2 on already. So the fan's spinning, and I don't know why, because it should be relying on the engine cooler temperature sensor, maybe the radiator sensor, or sometimes they do correlate with the intake, but it's on already. And as you could see, we could see some wires bodged up. I don't know what was done to the car. This is going to be the challenge with this one here, but hopefully we get there. Right, so car is on up, 90 degrees there. As you can see, 97 degrees for the engine coolant sensor. The only problem now, I don't think the thermostat is opening. It seems to have like an electrical connector there, so you can see the heater command 0%. I don't know if it's controlled by pulse width, this one. And the radiator coolant temperature is 9 degrees, so that hasn't changed. So the thermostat definitely hasn't opened, but I'm gonna wait a little bit longer. It's 98 degrees, 99. Just see for that. Another thing, the cooling fan turned off, so it seems to be operating as it should. It was on when I started. I turned the ignition off just to check if I had any leaks with the sensor, or if the coolant level was right. turn the engine back on. There's no command for the cooling fan, so the cooling fan is not on at the moment, which is good news. So the only thing now is just monitor this thermostat and radiator coolant temperature. Radiator coolant temperature. I'm gonna wait until it gets to 105 because you can see the desired engine coolant temperature is 105, so maybe you need to get to 105 for that to open. So I'm gonna wait a little bit longer, but so far, well, I think my friends are gonna be really happy because it seems to be just a temperature sensor issue. Gauge is working great, 90 degrees. I'm probably gonna, let me clear the folds here. I'll clear the folds, see if that's gonna erase. See, no presence anymore. Great, so clear DTCs, erase, yes. Full codes, no, excellent. Engine light's gone, yeah, it has. So yeah, so I'm just gonna monitor this thermostat, make sure it opens, and we should be good to go. All right guys, so we got to 101 degrees and the radiator temperature sensor just went up. So I'm just gonna check the pipe, make sure it's nice and warm or hot. 40 degrees now, 41, perfect. Yeah, it is hot, so thermostat has opened as it should. Just need to top it up the coolant. Thermostat, or the temperature sensor doesn't seem to be leaking. Is this easy? I didn't think it was going to be that easy. So as for now, it's working perfectly. Absolutely perfect. No, no engine light on. Engine coolant temperature sensor, 101 degrees, it's fine. The thermostat has opened, so the radiator temperature is 81. And the cooling fans relays are turned off. When I changed the sensor and first start the car, the fan was on, because I checked, and I don't know if it took a little bit of time for the control module to see those two figures and maybe turn it off. What I did, like I said, I went to check for any leaks. I turned the engine off, check for any leaks. If I had coolant in the reservoir there, which I did, when I start the engine again, it was off. So what I'm going to do now, I'm gonna leave the car standing for a couple of hours. I'm gonna come back here, turn it on again from cold, and see if the fan's gonna come on or not. But as it stands now, working absolutely perfect. So one more thing, 180 degrees, 100 degrees in the radiator. The first, the cooling fan relay 1, which is a low speed, came on. So that's all good. And as soon as the temperature went up here, you can see a percentage of the engine coolant thermostat heater command, so that opened up as well. And now it's closing, temperature, the radiator is going down, cooling fan went off. So it seems to be working perfectly. Desired temperature is 105, so when it got to 108 degrees, the fan came on. Right, next day, about 15 hours has passed. It got a little bit darker today, so I decided to do today. So engine stone cold. Just gonna point to the reservoir there, 9.6 degrees. Again, the engine 12 degrees. So let's go to the scan tool, and I'm just interested to see if we're gonna have those relays on again. So control units, engine control module, live data. And I'm gonna start the engine. Hopefully the relay 1 and 2 are gonna remain off. As you can see, that 13 degrees, radiator temperature 4 degrees, and they are off. Fantastic. Right, so the car is fixed, everything is running as it should. I'm super happy about that. I thought it was going to be something a little bit more major, of all those wiring spliced up and the fan running at all times. I'm not quite sure what happened to the thermostats. Perhaps that got replaced some points and someone left in the car. The temperature sensor, this is the bad one. Again, the one that we found in the car that is working, it's not new, so that's a mystery. I don't know what happened, but anyway, at least you guys got to see how I test temperature sensor circuits with the GK box. It's a pretty good test because you test the circuit's integrity and the sensor, you know, obviously with the scan tool. Pretty good test. I'll leave the chart with the ohms measurement for the temperature if you guys want to see that. I'll put a picture here somewhere. And so the fan running at all times, I think it was just a Kai strategy. Obviously when it recognized there's a fault in that system, it just let the fan run at all times, protecting the engine from overheating. And finally, when I replaced the sensor and I turned the ignition on, the reason why we had the fan running, I think it's just because the ECU didn't have time to recognize that we had a good sensor there. And then after I cycled the ignition and then start the car again, obviously recognized the temperature and everything was matching up and turned off the fan. And when we check for the fault codes, obviously the fault codes was not present anymore, as you could see. And that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'd like to say thank you to Cody Auto Diagnostic. Thanks very much, mate, for the t-shirt, some stickers, and that's it. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. If you have any comments, just leave it below, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.